Dominica, good afternoon to you and welcome. Welcome. It's 1:14 in the afternoon. If it's on the block, then we'll talk about it. This is Q95. And this is the talk on the block. If it's on the block, we'll talk about it.
Are you ready? Let's see how I want to get you. Lord God Almighty. Are you ready for it? Are you covered? Here we go. Say, if your hands are anointed, and if your feet are anointed, and if you're under the blood, give me a Holy Ghost shout. Hands are anointed, if your feet are anointed, if you're under the
Join
blood.
Q95 this Wednesday from 1 for the talk on the block. The United Progressive Party, new candidate for the Peter Savant constituency.
The majority will complain about things, not going right. But I think the fingers are being pointed in the wrong direction.
A man of the soil, a Cuban graduate. Come find out.
A lot of people prefer to just think that
Find out. This Wednesday.
Are anointed. If your feet are anointed. And if you're under the blood.
Are you ready? Are you ready? A soldier stepping forward. You know, a lot of you say, well, the young people don't. I say nothing. And I'm accepting everything that's going on around in Dominica. Well, it's clear this brother is stepping up and ready to represent the people of the Peter Savant constituency.
You're under the blood. Give me a Holy Ghost shout. If your hands are anointed, if your feet are anointed,
So let's say good afternoon. Of course, allow the political leader of the UPP to do the official announcement here this afternoon. They welcoming in open arms, I think, to his new candidate for the UPP in the upcoming election, whenever that's called. Good afternoon to you, Joshua Francis.
Yeah, bonjour, monsieur, Matt.
You can still parler
Comment vous parlez créole? Comment vous fait?
Voilà, voilà.
Vous fait bien?
Vous pouvez poser.
Bon après-midi, Dominique.
Bon après-midi too.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Dominica, wherever you are.
He's trying his best.
A blessed afternoon to you. Yeah, I'm trying to teach Matt some Creole. So every time I come, I do a little bit Creole.
All right.
Yes.
That'll help you. Yeah, so what's going on now?
Yeah, well, we're here. I'm happy to be in the presence of Lemuel Corriette, a young man from the Petit Savant community. As stated by you, Matt, this young man has, according to him, had enough. He has had enough of looking at what's happening to Dominica. And he felt that he did not just want to talk. He wanted to walk the talk. And as such, he has joined the community of the United Progressive Party to provide representation for the PT7 constituency. So it's an honor, it's a pleasure, and it's a blessing to be here with him. And like me and other members of the United Progressive Party, we subject ourselves to the Great Spirit, the creator of heaven and earth, for continuous wisdom, understanding, and guidance as we are on a journey. The Bible says that the greatest gift a man can give to his brother is to lay his life for a cause. For whatever reason, once it's good and it's sound, and that is what we're doing basically, is to sacrifice our lives for Dominica. And this young man is going to make sacrifice, because there's no way we can get it done without sacrifices.
And then you're using the right word, sacrifice, because a lot of people are not coming forward because that's the big question.
Well, that's the thing. Young people may not want to come because of the sacrifices involved. The time that we take to be here is time that we could be doing something for ourselves. Time is money in a business sense. Time is periods of socialization with family. We sacrifice that to meet community members, and we can go on and on and on as far as sacrifices are concerned. But some of us must make the sacrifices. We can't say we want to change and not be prepared to make the sacrifice. And the sacrifices sometimes are heavy. Our families may get victimized. We may lose time at our work. In some cases, we may even lose our work. We may lose our daily bread. But history has shown that leadership is about sacrifice. No great leader, a matter of fact, no serious leader is going to lead a people without he himself becoming a sacrifice. We have seen the opposite in Dominica, where our people have been sacrificed for leaders to be enriched. And that is very interesting. In the last 25 years, we have seen purported leaders, so-called leaders, become rich, whilst ordinary persons continue to struggle financially.
Overnight.
Yeah, 25 years. I mean, think about it. You have a cow and you're milking it for the last 25 years. It means that you're doing well financially. And that's exactly what has happened for some Dominicans. They have been able to milk the national cow, and they have gotten fat, and they look rosy. They can fly their children out to Dominica when they want. They can fly their spouses, their families out to Dominica how they want. They can build mansions. They can own several houses. We see it. And we talk about it. We go in corners and we whisper. And for some reason, we're afraid to say it. So that is where Lemuel Correa comes in. He has decided to come out of the closet and to speak for and on behalf of the people of PD7.
All right. So let's engage Mr. Lemuel this afternoon there. Sir, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you. Don't be afraid to speak. The mic is right there for you. Yes, good afternoon again. Tell us a little about you. Tell us a little about you, your background, where you're from, what you've been doing for the past how many years?
Well, to repeat what I said on the last program, right, over the weekend, I am from PD7, born and raised, right? I attended the Grand Bay Secondary School. I'm 37 years old, by the way, and I was raised in a Christian home, although I don't really, follow too much anymore. But I was raised by real, law-abiding citizens. You understand, people who fear God and have a serious spirituality. You understand, a strong, firm spirituality, and I was raised to think correctly. You understand, my father was is a disciplinarian.
Still alive?
He's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah. 74 years old. What else?
You went to school?
I went to school, Grand Bay Secondary School. I started at the State College, but I didn't complete that stint because, I was just mostly repeating stuff from secondary school. So I decided to take it to university. So I went to Cuba in 2007 for 6 years. Came back in 2013, and I've been back for about 12 years. So, yeah, I am a physiotherapist for 12 years.
Explain to us what that physiotherapist is about. What do you do?
Well,
on a day-to-day basis.
Physiotherapy is based in movement issues, like dealing with movement issues, anything movement related, in the human body. So it would entail muscles, joints, cartilage, bones. So basically, you know, for whatever the reason, a stroke, gunshot wound, a fracture, anything. So anything that is movement related, physiotherapy deals with it.
So talk to us about maybe one of your better experiences in doing that kind of work. When you met with that patient and the results that you got, one of the better experiences. And you have so many, I suspect.
Well, I don't know if I should call names.
You don't have to call him.
Oh, okay.
Don't call him.
But there was this young boy. I mean, he should be around 13 now. I'm not too sure, but he had this Corea's disease, right? And it's really what it does is like it kind of just shuffles up the nervous system. You cannot really move properly without help. You understand? You'll be just all over the place and
Wobbly.
yeah, wobbly.
Uh-huh.
He couldn't write, he couldn't do any of those things. He loved football, he couldn't do any of that. And through I guess his medication and the physio in combination, that guy went back to playing his football. He went back to school, everything normal. So it's like for me that was one of the biggest achievements, yeah, in my career.
But you help stroke patients.
I had stroke also, but you see, the thing is, I was never trained. I had never known anything about Corea's disease prior to encountering it. So basically, it was a big thing for me. And given that nervous system problems are usually kind of tricky, so that was.
Why did you choose that area of study when you went to Cuba?
Well,
was it by accident?
I was raised by a herbal practitioner, right? My both parents herbal practitioners, and they don't believe too much in pharmaceutical medication, and all of that. So when I chose something, and I kind of supported that idea. I chose something that I did not have to get involved in medicating people, except for the occasional anti-inflammatory cream and all of that. So I chose mainly based on that and the fact that you get to see people back in their normal life. Because after the surgery, you're still on the bed, you understand? Until, somebody comes and helps you to move about, and, even this stroke patient, you go to the doctor, they stabilize you and all of that, but you send home and you're still bedridden. So for me, I get to see people get back to their life. It's like the end product of the job, you understand?
Now, you've helped, as you said, many patients in your 12-year career.
Yeah, not that I kept count, but a few hundred.
A few hundred. So you are a guy with the people then?
Yes, for sure. I'm known by the people.
You know,
maybe not people. Everybody, but I think right now that I'm on the air and I'm making my presence known, publicly, that those who know will say, you understand? And that's why I don't think I have so much to defend in terms of my character and all of that, because I could come around here and say so much things like, how capable I am and how suitable I am for the job, but then anybody listening now is still going to ask a question when they meet somebody who knows me. You understand? So
word of mouth will, of course, spread the word.
Yeah, word of mouth. I mean, there are certain things like, people wouldn't know. Everybody wouldn't know, not because they know me. But then in terms of the way my people who know me know that I am of a sound mind. You understand? I'm not the kind of person who would bow, take bribes, bend, break, you understand, in front of adversity. So I guess I should leave that for them to say,
Let them tell your story.
Yes.
Let them tell your story.
I think it's more genuine that way.
All right, but tell me, why did you decide, of course, to get into politics?
Well, because it's time for a change, man. I don't know who else is thinking the same way, but it's like, I think the whole nation should be tired of what is happening right now. All the lies and the corruption and the victimization and, the half jobs and, all of that. I think maybe, there are many people who probably wanted or wish they could come and do it, but they're afraid of the victimization and the amount of stress and strain associated with leadership. You understand? So for me, I don't really have anything to lose.
Nothing to lose.
I have nothing.
You work with the government system?
I worked in the government system, but I left.
You left. How many years ago you did that?
Well, the first stint, I think it was around 2016. to about 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent about 3 years in the NEP, right? Under the NEP, and then
NEP, and you're certified, you're
a bachelor's
professional.
degree, yes. But anyway,
How was that experience though? NEP.
yeah, it was bad. It was, overworking. We would be seeing around 30 patients a day on average, sometimes more, sometimes less. And that is just, illegal, actually. Anything could happen at that level. And the pay, I was receiving about 2,720 EC for all that. You understand? For 3 years.
30% a day.
Yeah. So, and I basically mostly did it because I wanted the hands-on. I wanted to get the practice. You understand? You come from university, you're fresh. Even if you did your internship back on campus, but you still want that experience because after when you pass the probation period, right? It's like you're not being supervised anymore so much. So you get that sense of responsibility. So I did that and I left for a few years, and then I went back in 2022, I think, if I'm not mistaken. For a few months,
You're still
asked
under
to hold
NEP?
on. No, that was under the contract at
Okay.
the hospital. So I was holding on so that the acting physiotherapist at the hospital or the physiotherapist could take leave because she's the only person employed under the government service.
So there's
Like
only
only one appointed physiotherapist in Dominica. So she working alone will make it impossible, very difficult to take leave, like significant leave.
Okay.
She could maybe take 2 days, I guess, or something like that, but to shut down the department for a whole month, that is just not acceptable. So, but then when I went back, as I mentioned on my last interview, it's like the pay didn't go up 1 cent from, the regular pay to supervisory.
Not 1 cent?
Not 1 cent. Not one. So I left again. I cannot do these things to myself. It's like, it sounds nice, $4,000 something to be exact. First of all, this takes you nowhere unless probably you want to wear $2 clothing, you understand? And those kind of things, which you're going to lose the respect of certain people because that's how people are. If you're too low down, if you're too cheap, you're too all of that, people don't really pay attention. People don't respect you as a professional, right? So you have certain things to keep up. You cannot be taking the bus every day to work. You try to get a vehicle, right? Then you have a loan on your account. And basically that money is just done for the glamour. You understand what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Just look at the rest of the Caribbean and see how much other people are touching monthly. So it just wasn't fair. So I left again.
So you're on your own right now?
I'm on my own again.
And that experience is much better for you?
Yeah, it's much better. In as much as the money is not steady.
Yes.
So the same thing every month. But when I don't work, when I don't make money, I'm not working. You understand what I'm saying? I can relax myself. Whereas I have to go, when I work for the state, I have to go every day. So basically from 6 in the morning till about 6, 7 in the night, it's like, I'm up trying to perform those duties and it brings nothing to you, no profit, nothing you can really show.
So you're saying the young people you think in Dominica is going through the same thing? They are going through
Yeah, they are. Most of them. I mean, everybody except those who in the line of corruption,
And you're saying that's with a lot of confidence?
Yeah, of course. But there is corruption. There's a lot of corruption. Somebody less qualified than I am, right? Doing a work that pays less than I am is doing better than I am. I'm not jealous of the person, but it just makes sense out of what's happening. You understand? And I cannot be a slave. I cannot be working hard, getting people back on their feet so that they can come and pay taxes, and then I struggling to pay mine. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know who it makes sense to, but not to me.
What about your representation in, because you've decided to challenge whatever the representation you have in the P7 area at this time? What about your power rep? What do you think? I'm not saying asking to be personal, but what do you think about the representation your people are getting at this time? Are you satisfied?
The representative for the Labour Party.
Yes.
Okay. No, but I don't think it's a problem of who is there though.
Okay.
I think it's a problem is who is leading leading them. You understand? When one person can stand and call the shots on everything, and if it doesn't want, you don't get anything. It's like it doesn't make sense. You could put Albert Einstein there, nothing is going to happen. You understand? So I cannot. It's not somebody I see much of, right? And I sure other villagers can say the same thing. But why would he show his face if he cannot do anything for you, or if he's not allowed to do anything for you? What is the point? Come to you and tell you, okay, you know what, I'll get back to you, and then go back, try and consult with whoever gives,
Direction.
give direction, and then come back and tell you, you know what, I'll get back to you again, because that's what the person just told him, the boss man, right? So it makes no sense.
So you're saying he's not independent?
No, he's not independent. No. And I don't think, unless there is some kind of personal relationship with whoever calling the shots, I don't think none of the Pirates actually get things they really want because they want it. I think they get it because it is given to them whenever they feel like it is necessary, you understand?
So, what I'm hearing that from that message is like, is only one person that's doing the job. He just giving directions, others follow. Don't take it up on their own to do what they think should be done for their constituency.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
So you think you could do a lot better?
I could do a lot better with the right leadership, right? Because at the end of the day, as I just said, it is not up to me. Even if the UPP wins that election, right, and win power, it still have to boil down to how much the leader of the party, respects the concerns of his people. So for me, it's not really about me. As I said, I don't think I am more capable than
John Brown.
John Brown, or the PAL rep, or the former PAL rep, or any one of them. I think maybe in the sense of maybe tenacity, I don't think they have the kind of I would say fire I have. You understand? To defend and all of that, to stand up against stress in the face of danger and all of that. But I think if they had the right leadership, they would do well enough. Right? That's all I can say.
And you don't think they have the right leadership as we speak?
I don't think so at all. Not one bit.
Joshua, you want to intervene there? We'll continue asking more questions.
No, you can go ahead. I mean, it's the hour for Lemuel Corriet. I hope the public takes the opportunity to engage him.
Yes, and of course, feel free to give him a call. Our numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. Feel free to engage the brother here. We have a new candidate for the United Progressive Party with us, and I'm sure he can take questions. We want it to be very interactive at this point, so please feel free to give him a call and ask the questions you think need to be asked. So let's continue. In terms of your vision for the constituency, what are some of the things you would like to see done in Petit Savan that have not been done at this time?
In Petit Savan, as in Bellevue, or
in the constituency itself, constituency itself?
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, I know every single human being needs a certain level of comfort. You need food, shelter, and clothing. Mm-hmm. And you need it abundant enough so that you don't have to be thinking of where the next meal comes from, or where you sleep tonight. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Or what you give your children, or, all of that. So I would want to think that the Petit Savan people were relocated, and it's been a difficult transition for the people, right? And yes, we need things. We probably, right now in Bellevue, they probably need land to farm, like land reform or something. You understand? But in my opinion, right, I don't think it is appropriate to say what I think the Petit Savan people need. And I mentioned that on the last interview, that for me, I could say, okay, you know what, they need land reform in Bellevue, right? And they need some recreation, more recreation and all of that. And then sometimes the people, when I go to them, they could say, you know what, we want to go back to Petit Savan. You understand?
So you want the people to, of course, advise you as to what they want before you talk about these promises.
I wouldn't go ahead and try to think for the Petit Savan people. I don't think I can. It's supposed to be like consensus. Everybody sit, we talk, and everybody agree on what it is we need most and the order in which things have to go. Because I think that's one of the problems with the country right now: a lack of transparency. Understand? No due diligence. So
let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller?
Yes, good day. Good day, the three of you.
Yes.
I'd like to ask Mr. Corriet a question. Mr. Corriet, do you believe the village of Petit Savan, original Petit Savan, it's capable, or is it still conducive for it to be for the people to reintegrate themselves in that community if they have some repairs to be done. Because I know Petit Savan is a beautiful location. I've been there on many occasions. And to me, I don't know if the entire village is affected by that, by Erica. So I'd like to know if the government can use some techniques or have public works coming up there and organize the area. Would people able to live there again, reside there again?
Somebody's asking that. In other words, would you think that the people, Petit Savan people, should go back to Petit
Yes,
Savan?
I think Petit Savan is habitable. Most of the damage that happened, I think the amount of deaths in Erica during Erica kind of inflated the problem. You understand? Like, so many deaths, so you think it must be a very dangerous place. Most of the people who died, and I don't want to sound insensitive about it, but a lot of them were trying to fight with nature. You understand what I'm saying? You know, their houses filling up with mud and they're still inside. Whereas there are a few people who escaped, you know. So the land itself, nothing much happened to the land. A few houses, yes, at risk, and those people could be relocated or could choose to be out of the village if they want to. You understand what I'm saying?
It should be their choice.
Yes, it should be their choice. But the village is safe enough with a little work, you know, dredge up the rivers, you know, build a few retaining walls and the way I see it, right? Look at the amount of elderly people who have died, Petit Savan people. And a lot of them not even elderly people just about 60 years, you know, 50 something years. And that is nothing normal for Petit Savan people. You understand? So if I have to guess what the problem is, I think they are stressed and like it's a lot of anxiety.
They want to go back home.
Yeah, I mean, they might not be thinking of it like that, but you sitting every day, you know, you coming from a place where you had a backyard, you could go and chill. You had neighbors, you could go and sit down and talk with people you were with, because the houses could have been here from, you know, generations. So basically, you know that person for a long time. And then you lose that. When you move them back to Bellevue, some people got back in there, you know, next to their neighbors and all of that, but it's still different. You live in upstairs and outside is just vehicles passing, dust, or it's cold, or you understand, or it's rainy. So it's not
the
really
environment is different.
Very different. The temperature, everything is different.
But what I was talking to you earlier, and one thing I was doing a survey with some UE students as it relates to you know, the movement of Petit Savan people to Bellevue. And one thing I noticed though, and maybe Joshua, you can of course add to this, what they were very happy with, the elderly people, they were getting the $300.
Well, yeah,
that's what that for them is gold.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot of elderly people in that area say, well, bon Dieu béni, talking about the Prime Minister.
Well, I mean, you see, that's the thing with good. It's like there's such a thin line between bad and good, right? It's like, if he gives that person $300, right, does it not impact them well? You understand? And at the same time, did he give that $300 out of a good heart, or was it ulterior motive? You know what I'm saying? So
okay, you have to balance it out. Let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller?
Yes, Matt, I'm there. Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon to your guests, so, Francis and Mr. Corriett.
Yes,
Mr. Corriett, I don't know you, but I am congratulating you as a young man for standing forward for your country. I like what you say about you want to discuss whatever you have to discuss with your people before you say you're going to represent them. That's a very good move. So I just want to congratulate you and to tell you keep it up and be with your people. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, so he's saying that before he makes any decision about Petit Savan, he needs to come with the people and talk to them and get their reaction, and then talk about promises made. I think that's a good approach. Joshua.
Well, yes, Matt. Corriett is known by many people in the constituency, and he knows his people, particularly in the village of Petit Savan at Bellevue. And he has said repeatedly that he wants to go on the ground to meet with the people and get to know exactly what are their concerns. Of course, he has a general idea as to what Petit Savan needs, but he prefers to go on the ground, engage the people, interact with them, record what they want. Of course, he's a good listener, and upon taking that information, he will put his policies together and then go back to the people with his ideas, and hopefully the people will accept and give him the support. On the face of it, Matt, we know that the bay oil industry is a very important industry in Petit Savan. So already he has ideas as to how you'd approach the bay oil industry, because of course that creates employment, it's production, both for local consumption and export. So I'm sure his ideas will include the bay oil industry. Also fishing. Fishing is a very important area in the constituency in Stu and Forsasia. So I'm sure Corriette will give his vision in respect to fishing, the bay oil, agriculture generally, agro processing, and like many other parts of Dominica, I'm sure Korea to be concerned about the young people, employment and underemployment, especially the young men.
You know, somebody's asking, I think it's Mr. Albinois. He's asking whether I've ever been to Peter Savannah. I've been there many times. As it relates to Bellevue, yes, lovely apartments, but again, these apartments, if you do a survey, a lot of people won't be happy, and because the toilets are flushing, and when the toilets come, some of them, flushed, and it ends up in the sink. So something is wrong with what they presented at this time. So I'm not saying it's not good to get housing, but if you're doing a good job, let's do it. Let's do it properly.
Well, Martin, I'm happy that you brought that up, because my understanding is that a few persons in PD7 got their titles. I don't know how true that is. I have not seen one, but that's what I have been told. Generally, the people of PD7 were relocated. Many of them had their own houses. They moved to Bellevue, and from since they have been asking for certificate of titles. We know the benefit of having a certificate of title. It gives you security, it gives you mental freedom and safety, and you can easily go ahead and make your will. You can use a certificate of title as security to obtain a loan. So every year which passes is a denial for or of the PD7 people being able to use their titles for investment.
Oh, would you agree though that most of these apartments are being dangled like a carrot
Well,
for the election?
Well, we know that, Matt. We know that everything that this Labour Party government does has a motive to get political benefits, and that's why we are where we are today, because this is a government that has put politics before the people of Dominica. The interest of the Dominica Labour Party takes precedence over the interests of the nation. And with that type of philosophy, clearly we're not going to go anywhere. Hence, the reason why Corriere has come out, because he wants to make a difference. And I'm very happy to have Corriere, and it's a signal that there is hope for our young people. We have been hearing a lot of about young men in the news, about the problems that young men are facing. And here it is, a young man with a future ahead of him, a bright future, being a physiotherapist. He could leave Dominica like many young people. He left the hospital, but he could go out of Dominica to work. But he chose to stay here to make his contribution, because he appreciates Dominica. He sees the value in Dominica. He sees Dominica as maybe the best place to live, and he wants to make it better. So there is hope for our young people, and great commendation on Corriette. And I hope the people of the PT7 constituency will embrace him and support him. Not everybody may be able to be on the front line, but they can pray for him, they can support him financially, morally, and spiritually. And I'm confident that with the community of the United Progressive Party, that he will do very well.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, in terms of the young people, have you been meeting the young people? What is your what is their reaction since the news broke that
Well,
you
I
would
get
be a representative for the Peter Stefan constituency? What's the feedback
Well,
thus far?
I have gotten a lot of support from the young people, like friends and relatives and all of that. It's positive. I feel good about it. You understand? Nothing so far has made me feel anything like negative vibe about doing this. A lot of motivation, well wishes and all of that. So I feel positive about it. You know, the thing is, it's like in Petit Savan, I never really kind of separated myself from the people who seem to be different, like less educated or in another position. I deal with everybody. As a matter of fact, I was trained to do that. I'm a physiotherapist. I deal with people of all ages, and mental, orientation, people with mental issues, all kind of problems. So it's like, I think the people know that I am down to earth enough to deal with this, and it's only a matter of where their loyalties lie right now.
On the telephone, are you there? Sorry about that. Let's take another phone call. Are you there, caller? Sorry. we keep missing the calls. 449-3095, 449-3096, or 449-3097. Again, these are the numbers, or you can call 616-4257. Let's go back to the telephone. Yes? Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
I just want to congratulate the young man, Mr. Corriett, on his step forward into trying to help the community.
Okay.
He knows who's talking. It's Rasi Abai.
Rasi Abai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yabai, okay. Big up Yabai. Yes, man.
Okay, so yes. All right, thank you. Just wishing you the best going forward. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Mr. Peltier, blessings to you, sir.
Blessings to you, sir. How are you?
I give in thanks, Mr. Corriett. Let me congratulate you and all the best in your endeavors, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Do what you have to do to get to where you want to be at. Be careful what you're doing, because a lot of people get all lulled or tricked or, into all kind of madness. So I wish you well as a young man, and blessings to you. Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Matt.
Yeah, I'm here.
The Honorable Joshua Francis is in.
He's right there.
Josh, blessings to you and blessed New Year.
Yeah, blessings to you. Happy New Year to you. Blessings.
I give thanks. Josh, I recorded a voice note and I talk about when it comes to substance as a politician in Dominica presently. If I had somebody to vote for, I would vote for Joshua Francis. Because, Josh, what people are afraid of, and Matt, I'm right there with you within the structure of politics. They understand if you be an actor and you're good at it, all of a sudden you become a target. So some people are deliberately skirting around the issues, and the arrows are flying past the target, much less for them to hit the bullseye. Most of the times I listen to you, Josh, you are blunt, respectfully blunt. May I describe you in that way? There are some people that are all over the place and trying to be mild-mannered, polite and respectful to criminals. I'm not asking you or any politician to be like me, but I'm just saying they are burning issues. And if you put all of them together, J. Bush, the bond on the visa application, and the Maduro with the indictment and how much thing, there's all kind of things happening in our country. 8 billion missing and all kind of nonsense. The killing, the state of lawlessness and the crimes, and you just said it, and for the young man there, that is not money from the prime minister, that is money from the state. The senior citizens know not better, so they think it's about scaring that doing them a favor. No, all over the world there are social programs to help the elderly, to help the needy, to help the poor, and that is state resources. That's not government money in the sense of the Skerrit or Labour Party. So I'm just saying, Josh, I want to tell you to continue to be politely blunt, because you seem to deal with issues in details rather than, the message gets lost in diplomacy and in intellectual jargon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Now, somebody's, was that?
Thank you.
All right, so somebody's saying here, you are right, talking to Mr. Samuel there. The village is habitable, talking about Peter Savan, we spoke about that earlier. After the event, if the government had spent $5 to $10 million, we would have resettled Peter Savan. Okay, so basically, this official is saying if the government has only spent about $10 million, Peter Savan would have resettled. And if the process of settling Peter Savan, in the process, they have destroyed Peter Savan or Bellevue in that process. So Bellevue, he's saying, has been destroyed as a result of Peter Savan people moving there.
Right.
Yeah,
and I disagree with the settlement on top of that mountain. Remember, it's all our rivers, our springs, that water flowing down to Pichelin and the other side, Loubier. It comes from up there. You cannot put a settlement there. If you put people living there, they're supposed to have that. You know how in Europe and those places, they have those campsites and they have that kind of a sawdust material they throw on the, the waste, and it just kind of turns it to dust. But you cannot have a septic tank in the soil on top of watersheds. You understand? This doesn't make any sense. It's not hygienic, and
It's making a lot of sense because I've been doing some research, and of course, remember you used to have Lubia water,
Yes,
and they're gonna put a water plant lower down.
now that's what they say. I'm not too sure how feasible
I
that's
heard
going to
they're
be.
talking to some Italian investor
Yeah.
that they're gonna redo the Lubia water plant. Now, with all the houses there, and the young man was saying, with all the septic tanks above there, it will affect the flow of that river
Well,
and affect the water
the
quality.
integrity of the water.
right. Well, I don't have an expert report on the matter. It may appear so, maybe not. But whatever it is, of course, development sometimes comes at an environmental cost. A decision has been taken. The people of PT7 has been relocated at Bellevue, and they have a number of issues. The environmental issue is one. There are employment issue. We spoke about the elderly. A lot of them are on the paupers allowance. Why are they there? Because this government has failed us. This is a government that has failed to create an environment for financial and economic growth. A lot of our families continue to be broke. They do not have money in the banks. They don't have money saved at home. Their children are struggling. And therefore, when they get the paupers allowance of $300, it's like gold. And while some of them are giving credit to the government, what I would ask them to do is to discredit the government, because had this government created an environment for growth, then their very children would be able to take care of them without having to be dependent on government's assistance. Therefore, as time elapses, we're going to go around hoping that people understand those things, because ultimately our efforts will be measured against the number of people who come to enlightenment to see that this government has to go. They must go. And the issue of relocation of the PT7 or taking them back to PT7 is a community discussion. Some people, of course, will not want to go. I listened to a few younger persons who do not want to go, and some older people want to go.
A lot of the older people, of the elderly, want to go back.
Yeah, well, with a new government, that is something to consider. Those who wish to go back, whether they will create the opportunity for them to go back. But there are several other issues, Matt, that people have to consider. We heard about the agricultural issues. The PT7 people are known to plant. They like the soil. Where they are, they cannot do gardening. They don't even have a backyard to put a plant. And that is a problem for them. And you heard Lemuel talking about the anxiety coming from a community of agriculture and going to another where you cannot do agriculture naturally is going to create mental stress.
On the telephone, are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes, I am here. I just want to say a pleasant good afternoon to the gentleman. Is it Mr. Corriett?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say, first of all, I want to say first, Joshua, Happy New Year to you. I wish you all the best and good luck to you. And the gentleman, I would like to tell him, good day to him. Happy New Year to you and your entire family. It's a pleasure having you on Q95, the People's Station. My brother, all I want to say to you, my name is Marlin, number 1007, boom. Right? I want to tell you to go for it, my brother. Reach and reach for the star. Never give up. Stick if my boy, the Honorable Sir Joshua Francis, the wise man from north, east, south, west. And my brother, God will answer your prayers once you with Joshua, because Joshua, Joshua Francis is a man of God. His grandmother with him, God with him protecting him. So anybody that stick to him will survive. They won't go hungry. You understand? So take care and stick in Joshua. Joshua, I wish you all the best. And don't forget, the first set of t-shirts, the first set of orange t-shirts, don't forget 007 boom. You see me all in orange on the Saturday, orange sock, orange pants, orange shirt. So don't forget your girl. I with you, body and soul. My heart belongs to you. I will die for you, Joshua. I will take a bullet for you. So shall be written, so shall be done. Good luck to you. Oh my God.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, Marlon, thank you very much. There's a lot of boom. Lemuel has my full endorsement. That's somebody talking from the south. What they are doing in at Debouche is worse than what Erica did to Peter Savan. That's what one caller is suggesting. You agree with that, Joshua?
Yeah, I mean, and people need to understand what's really happening at Debouche. Water is life. And once a government can create a situation where water sources are going to be affected, we have to question the government. That is one of many transgressions that this Dominica Labour Party government has imposed on the people of Dominica. We're talking about a water source area, water catchment area, a source that provides water for several tributaries and rivers. And the government talks about having consultation with stakeholders. We know very well the government only reacted and responded to Young Brisbane and Gary when they put a video in circulation questioning the project which was underway. And then we are also hearing
that makes it illegal.
Well, yeah, but at this stage, I was about to say that we heard that the project has not started. So why do all that before a project has started? The government meant to go ahead to do a full project without any consultation, any EIA, as they have done with the international airport. There is no known EIA. It has not been provided to the public under the laws, under the Planning Act. The people of Dominica could and should be able to get a copy of the AIA. None of that is possible because this government continues to disrespect the people of Dominica, to violate laws and do as it wishes. And the only reason why this government has allowed to do that is because we as a people, we have gone asleep. We are busy, we're intoxicated with all kinds of distraction and not paying attention to our country, which is, or maybe gone down the precipice already. And it's a question of pulling it up.
Hello, on the telephone 449-3095-9697. More telephone calls? Yes, we're speaking to Lemon. Hello, talk to me. Sorry about that. Are you there, caller? Yes? Caller?
Good afternoon to you.
How are you? How are you? Lofty.
I'm doing very, very well, Matt. And your listeners and the broad good afternoon to you guys as well. Joshua Francis, good afternoon to you, brother.
Good afternoon, Lofty. Good afternoon. The PRO for UPP.
Yeah. And I want to say a special good afternoon to the man of the hour as well, Mr. Lemuel Correa. Matt, I've been listening to the conversation this afternoon, and I really wanted to be in studio, in person that is, because I promised Joshua that on Saturday night, when we left the studio, that I would come and support Mr. Correa in terms of his quest to represent his people of the Petit Savan constituency. But unfortunately, the time did not allow me to do that this afternoon. I was up from 4:30 this morning on my routine, and I still haven't been able to get a break. But I'm listening to the conversation, and I said it would be remiss of me if I did not call to give my support to this brother as the public relations officer of the United Progressive Party in Dominica. Matt, the short time I've known this brother, I found him to be quite humble. I found him to be quite honest. And these are two qualities that is needed in the field in which he's undertaking. And I heard him said, when you asked him a question a while ago about his vision for his community, and he bounced off that question and relayed back to his people and the needs of his people. That too is another good quality in that when you're representing people, you really and truly have to seek their wisdom, have to seek their advice in terms of their needs, because you are only a mouthpiece, a conduit, as it were, on their behalf. So that is a very good quality. The other person, I must say, that I heard said that outrightly in a very unambiguous way, and she did make strides in that endeavor, was Annette Sanford, when she said her people needs come first, and so whenever she speaks for and on behalf of the Kalinago people. And so, Mr. Correa, if that is your posture, going back to your people, talking to your people, getting their needs, and you representing that to the best of your ability, that is a good starting off point. Matt, I just want to say finally, I know time is not on our side. I just want to say finally that in terms of this brother's profession, he's a physiotherapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I listened to him broke it down on Saturday and this afternoon, he said basically his job entails getting people who are sick back on track. And Matt, Dominica has been sick for a very, very long time. And so Mr. Corriett is in a very good position now to transfer that sort of rehabilitation work that he does with individuals now to get them well again, as it were, as he said earlier, and transfer those skills into the representation / political arena now, where he can help make picket servant people well again, and by extension, the people of Dominica. Matt, I am very proud to be associated with Mr. Corriett based on what I saw so far. And it can only get better with time, with he staying on track. Like good old wine, with time, it gets better. Joshua, continue to do your good work. We are there supporting you and surrounding you. Thank you, Matt.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lofty.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back.
People of God. To me, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. That is higher than I. Shelter for me, and a strong tower. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. That is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter. For thou hast been a shelter for me.
The place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Farm Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica, and yes, we deliver. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top tier service, trusted products. 255-6810 or 316-0164, or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course the Sunblast juices, Toppers snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Whoa!
boy. It's all about Calypso quarterfinals on Saturday, 17th January 2026 at 8:30 p.m. at the Faction Valley Road. 32 Calypsonians backed up by the String Sales Band. Early bird tickets is only $30 online at Eventbrite. General admission $50, sitting $60, VIP $100. Don't forget the date, January 17th, 2026 at 8:30 p.m. I want to speed it the bell. Yo, Dominica, this your boy, Mr. Rich. And January 17th, I'm going to be at the Calypso quarterfinals, bringing to you a live performance. Get your tickets now. It's all about Calypso, Calypso, Calypso. Calypso quarterfinals, sponsored by Flo Dominica, Josephine Gabriel, Topita Water, Coca-Cola, Henneken Beer, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Tomlet, Fresh Market, Do It Center, BB Rum, Big Edge, Perkins Pizza, ICWI, Vibian TV, Kyrie FM, DBS Radio, Vines Radio, and QFM. Sesame.
KFC. KFC. Looking for some place to go. Meals for soul. KFC. Grab your family and your friends. Join in the experience. KFC. It's the place to be. Made for you and me. KFC.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
I see Godwin shopping for farming supplies, so I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? He tell me, Gus out has sort. I've been married 37 years, look at my money farm. He say, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together. All you, I just meet Goldwyn in Rosal again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock him, but he had time see me. Where? Story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? Saga fella. I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's. And you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I busy. Is to hear him way. You reckon? I'm my pocket the boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Good when you're still telling me. I know already. Tu paga respecte moi. But it can even prepare to parler. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Floss's. Right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Floss's can't do it to you.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. Durant paint and wall covering from Do It Best Quality Paint. Giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology, and an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
All right, somebody says, man, I love that young man for his steadfastness and honesty, honest approach. Give thanks to his parents for raising him a great citizen. On the Peter 7 issue, I think it's all part of a land grab scheme by this cabal. From the break ground on the project in I've started in Debonche. That person is also adding as well. Another Correct is saying, I would like to encourage young Correct in his endeavors. We are not strangers to politics. Luke Correct was once a minister, so you have precedence, huh? On the matter of Petit Savan, by now the government should have already done a reassessment of the area and make a decision. A reminder, 9 other communities were declared special disaster areas, as was Petit Savan. To date, no action has been taken for the relocation of example Coolibistry, Campbell, and Petit Soufriere, Good Hope, etc. So I support Mr. Corrett's call for a reassessment and re-evaluation of the area. All right, Joshua, I think you have other things to say about Mr. Corrett. You seem to be getting a good response.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a number of positive feedbacks, and a common thread is that Corrett comes across as being genuine. I can tell you public that he is. He says it as it is, how he feels. He's very honest, and clearly you can see that he's a very humble person. He spoke about being known, his willingness to go on the ground to listen. That's a sign of humility. And let me say to the public, Matt, that to this date, Coretta has not asked me what is in it for him. He hasn't said if the opposition were to win, whether he will be a junior minister, minister of government, a diplomat, what position he will hold. He has not given that consideration. He has put himself forward basically to stand for the people of the PT7 constituency and for Dominica. And I wish if we had more people coming with that kind of thinking, because as we know, Matt, the leadership of the Dominica Labour Party from day one made certain demands, and those demands were always about self. If we go back to the political history of the leadership of the Dominica Labour Party, we remember that a vehicle was given, some funds were given, and some undertakings were given. The leadership demanded that they would have ministerial positions. So from day one, they told us and showed us that they were not there for the people first. They were there for themselves first. And they continued with that behavior. Hence the reason why they have become multimillionaires. They enjoy the best life. They eat the best meals. They travel all around the world. They are styling and profiling, whilst ordinary Dominicans, as we say, are sucking salt. And it's for the people of Dominica to stop second guessing and stop giving unreasonable excuses why we're not standing against this government. As Corriat say, he has nothing to lose. What is there to lose? We have life. The breath of life is not in the hands of the leadership of the Dominica Labour Party. Life is given and taken by the Almighty. We have been given this rock, our Eden. It is being taken deep into a precipice by the leadership of this country, and it's time that we stand up. And every voice that comes to the opposition and supports the opposition is adding value, because we have to stand.
On the telephone, are you there?
Yeah, I'm calling again. I want to ask Mr. Collier, can you tell us, are you impressed with the achievement that your constituency of Petit 7, the original Petit 7, have benefited from 2000 until Erica? Are you satisfied with the contribution that the national government has made to Petit 7 from 2000 until Erica? And do you have ideas when you meet with your party, like Mr. Joshua, Francis, when you all meet, do you have plans to suggest to them in terms of reforms you would like to see take place? Because I believe now the reforms are necessary, because we have learned from what is happening today, and to deprive our leaders from making them believe because it's their personal property. So as a young man, I see that I understood you studied in Cuba. Your area is not that, but you're going to involve with Mr. Francis, who is a very smart, intelligent man. And I myself, I have made my vow to become a part of the party. I'm not calling from Guadeloupe. I have spoken to Mr. Dura. I want to pay my tithes, and I have to go on the site and do everything. And I'm trying to mobilize people, because we need a change. And Mr. Joshua is the only man, Mr. Francis is the only man I have met with him on many occasions, because he was a school teacher at the Grand Secondary School. I also met him with a good friend of his, Mr. Baptiste. And I can recall when he came from university in Trinidad, he came with his drive with his grandmother, and he walked or drive all of Granby with his grandmother. And that is to show you this man is a man who is close to his family, and that's why he had the power to eject Miss Ambrose Dodge. And it is still possible. And I have been speaking to many of my friends who are supporting the move of the UPP. And I want to say big up, and I want you to answer my question. Are you impressed with what your constituency before Erica, from 2000 until Erica, benefited from the Labour Party?
All right, I'll allow him to answer. Yes, are you impressed? Basically, are you satisfied with the kind of work that the Labour Party has done in your constituency? Can they do more? What is your
Yeah,
vision for the
okay.
constituency?
So I cannot say they hadn't done anything, but I think they could have done plenty more. You understand?
Mhm.
They could have done plenty more to develop the village. And seeing that 37 people are the kind who would put their sweat into it without expecting a dollar. You understand? They need something done. The people will come and do what you call the kudme, self-help. A lot of the roads, the feeder roads in PD7 were built on self-help. So it could have been much better, right? And then you gave me a timeline up till about Erica, but then after Erica, things just got worse for us, So
Things get worse.
But
Got worse after Erica, you said.
yeah, of course. Well, you see, Erica kind of messed up the village, and then it was abandoned, and then the people themselves. Although we are relocated, to me, we are still abandoned.
I still see. I've gone there in recent times. I've gone there. Still a few people in that they're not living.
Well, the village never really closed down completely, But you don't have a health center. You don't have, school. You don't have any of that. So it's not considered like a community. But people have lived there from this very day of Erica. Some people who never left. You understand?
I met an elderly person who said, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm just staying right there."
Yeah, they have been harvesting bay leaves and all of that. So there are people up in PT7. It's just.
What about opening the road? That's another major project we've heard about. Many promises made that connecting PT7 to Delis, and that a lot of promises, nothing becoming a reality.
Ever since they opened that bridge, I haven't traveled the road to Delices. But from what I gathered from the Delices people, it's like, don't try to pass there with your vehicle. Yeah. You have to have some real, big pickup, 4-wheel something to pass there, and it's still a risk.
Mhm.
So it doesn't make any sense.
So the government has to do a little more to make this road more accessible.
A little more.
A lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah. Matt, if I'm allowed.
Oh, hold on. Let me
Yes.
take a phone call. Are you there? Yes?
Yes, I am there again. Sorry. The last caller spoke about Joshua, and all I want to say to him, hallelujah, amen. Joshua is a good man, and I tell him, Mr. Corey, don't let Joshua down. Don't make people poison your mind against Joshua. My brother, go ahead and go straight. Hit the hammer, take the hammer, and hit on the nail. Joshua is a child of God. I talking to you and I shiver in. Matt, let me say something to you. Matt, since morning I want to go in the credit union and buy a little grocery, and you have me. I can't even go nowhere again, and this kind of a thing. Because credit union closed already. Right now, I'm gonna make a cup of chocolate store and some biscuit to it. And they say, budget 295 is something else, Matt. God bless you.
God bless you. God bless you, man.
Yes.
God bless you. Somebody's trying to insert. I think he may have spoken about that, but you may have missed. What is why is it worth representation, Nate? Talking about Petit Savan. I think you spoke a little more about your community earlier. What makes your community unique? Tell us about yourself in that community. I think you spoke about that earlier. Tell us about your dream for that community. We can speak about your dreams, and as you said, you wanted to talk to the people before speaking about your dream itself, your dreams for the community.
Right. You see, given right now that PT7 people are not, some people might want to stay in Bellevue, so some might not, right? The thing is, it is a sensitive time. If we were in PT7, then I could say, okay, you know what? I think this road, we need a road right there. You understand? Because it makes it easier for it. But we're not here or there anymore. And as I recently came into this, it's like, for me, I cannot specify what it is I should do. As I told you,
need to talk to the people.
right here and then in Bellevue, they need land, right? They need a proper place for recreation and all of that, right? If they were to want to go to PD7, or for the people who have properties there, who would want the properties to have some value again, you understand? There are things that need to be done for those things to happen. And that's why I say, for me, it's, okay, to me, it doesn't make much sense just saying what I have planned for the people, you understand? Anybody who knows me knows that I'm the person I will stand up, I wouldn't back down. My community needs something, I will try to represent, and I will talk until, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as for saying what I think I need, I'm not even sure where the people want to be right now.
You want to talk to the people first.
Right?
So you're people's person.
Right, I am.
All right. 449, are you there, caller? I think I missed that call, so we can come back. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, He says he wants to meet. Yes.
Finally,
Yes.
I want to engage, not engage Josh, so to speak, but I want Josh to listen to me and respond to what I'm about to say. And I want to still tell the young man, I wish him all the best and do not soil his hands in no politics and nothing. Just try to stay as clean as possible. So when you open your mouth, your words will be pure. Josh, I know times changes and they say so do men. You did a great work to show Dominica how what they call an underdog could come and topple a well-entrenched politician for many years. But as I say, times changes, so do men, Josh. Josh, even if it's not official, can the UWP, the Freedom Party, and the UPP create an amalgam unofficially, get a PA system and a transport, a mic, an open mic, go around Dominica and engage everybody, whether you are Labour, UPP, UWP, whatever you are, freedom, talk. We want to put all you on social media. Who does not want it, so be it. They just want to make the contribution quietly. I think that would entice a lot of people to talk about the ills. And some people would maybe look for a needle in a haystack to talk about. All right? So I am asking Josh, is that possible for you as an intelligent man and a courageous man, an articulate man, can go out there, have Thompson and them, have Bosso and them, and it's not official. But please, there's some collaboration. There's not a coalition, but there's some cooperation, some amalgam to try to engage the people. The people are not listening to the radio, a lot of them. Everybody have a phone. Everybody have an iPad, a laptop, a TV. These are different times. So Josh, please, I would want to get your feedback because Josh, some people checking it's like David against Goliath, but David slew Goliath. And it is possible to take down that criminal enterprise as that guy from England, Winston Churchill. You attack from the air, from the sea, and on the ground. No little radio thing and little PSU thing in isolation. We every weekend be on the ground with a PA system, an open mic, and information recorded. You have audio, you have flash drive with all the information about Venezuela, visa, the bond, and all kinds of things that are happening. Not tell me a secret, I can reveal it to now. So please, Josh, tell me what you think about my suggestion, so to speak. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. And thank you, Blessings. There are quite a number of callers I would like to respond to, but in the immediacy, allow me to respond to Blessings. Blessings, I think that's a good idea. We have to employ all means and measures to get the message to the people. And the people in the rural places, particularly where they do not have Q95 access, nor do they have social media access, we must get onto the ground to spread the message, to give the people hope and confidence, because there are a lot of Dominicans who lost hope and accept and continue to accept the status quo, which needs changing. So I support Blessing's idea, and it's something for consideration. And I will speak with the other leaders and see how we can get this going. What I can say from the United Progressive Party's point of view is that our efforts will not cease, will be relentless until the next general election. Every other week, we will have meetings, we'll meet the people on the ground, not only in the PT7 constituency, but every constituency that is plausible. We will give the people the message of hope. We will do our best to persuade every Dominican why we need a change in Dominica. It is rather interesting, Matt, because one would have thought we would not have so much work to do. There should be no second guessing by Dominicans as to why we need a change. Blessing spoke of the issues in Dominica. There are quite a number of issues. But apart from the diplomatic issues, the foreign relations issues, bread and butter issues continue to be the primary issue in Dominica. People are struggling. Every day, I am confronted with people seeking assistance, whether it's to pay a bill, whether it's to help a child, whether it's to pay a medical expense. It is real. And the reason why we're here is because this government has failed. This government will go on possibly and campaign on the the projects that are undergoing right now, the ongoing project of the international airport, the marina, the cable car, amongst a few. It will bring that to the public and say, look, we have done well, give us another chance. But really, the leadership of the Dominican Labour Party government is tired. They are depleted of any vision. And the only way forward is for us to get them out. But for us to get here, we must work collectively, we must work wisely, and everyone has a part to play. Everybody has a contribution to make. It's not just calling the radio. It's not just me and my team coming on national radio to speak. We have to do the work. It's hard work, and we've had smart work. We can get the job done.
I want to ask you a question, Joshua, based on the information I picked up last evening when a forum was organized with all the leaders, the various leaders of the various opposition parties in Dominica. And the theme was, how did we get here, or are we getting out of there? I heard you, and I'm just receiving some information again. The U.S. suspending immigrant visas processing for 75 countries over public assistance. Now, the only 3 countries within our region that are not affected may be St. Lucia, Trinidad, and Guyana. I'll ask the question again, Joshua. Where did we go wrong? What has happened? Why are Dominica? Why is Dominica, part of this country? 75 countries, so you can't process visas anymore.
Right. Well, where did we start wrong, and why have we gone wrong? We started wrong when we made excuses for the transgressions of this leadership. This leadership in Dominica started on a lie. Matt, remember, this gentleman was brought before the court on the question of whether he had given allegiance to a foreign power. The Constitution of Dominica provides that no Dominican is eligible or qualified to be nominated as a candidate in a general election.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, it was alleged that the leadership was a foreign national. He had foreign citizenship, namely French citizenship. He was taken to court, and the court protected him by saying that should he be allowed to have stood in a witness box to tell Dominicans whether he did or he did not have a French passport would have been self-incrimination, and as such, he got away. It started on a lie, and it continued on a lie. The leadership has deceived Dominicans. It has used the gospel of God to make it appear that it's doing the work of God. We have heard a number of statements such as, why do you have to pray? Come to me, I'll provide. I'm the vessel of God. I'm doing God's work. God has sent me. God has sent us. That has played very well in the minds of many Dominicans who proclaim to be Christians, including spiritual leaders, convinced that this leadership was sent by God. That is one of the reasons why many Dominicans have been in the trance. They have been living a lie, and they continue to experience a lie. Nothing bad can bring good results. It has been proven over and over and over. So what we are reaping in Dominica is as a result of our own transgressions as a people. And until we stand up and say right is right and wrong is wrong and stop playing games, we won't go anywhere. So the escalation in crimes, the deterioration of the economy, the struggles that people are going through, the diplomatic errors which Dominica are going through right now are as a result of our national sins. Sins pivoted on the doings of a leadership that has deceived the nation year after year and decade after decade. It's over 20 years now. Games are being played with Dominica. National resources are being used to deceive people. Income poverty continue to rise.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I'm in this, because I have seen it. I have seen the light, and I know that persons like Blessings, Dr. Fountain, to name a few, have seen the light. And we're on this journey to ask Dominicans, please, to take back our country. Because if we don't, it is our children who will suffer. The environment is being destroyed by this government. The economy is being destroyed. Several rural places have already been destroyed. Let's talk about Peter Savan again. Here it is, we have Corriette. He can attest to the fact that under the leadership of the Dominican Labour Party, the championing of the culture in Peter Savan has died to some extent. Peter Savan was known as a community rich in culture. This government has paid very little regard to the heritage of the Peter Savan people, the culture. As we speak, I am not aware of any cultural center for the pitted servant people to go out there, maintain the art, pass on the art to the children, and to maintain that cultural heritage that the pitted servant community has known for so many decades. There are several other rural areas where this government has caused destruction, depopulation of the rural places. Farmers have left the field. Young people have left to go elsewhere. I mean, Dominicans, how much more are we going to take? Are we going to find ourselves not having to eat, wake up in the morning and not having food, not having clothes to put on our back, for us to realize that this government has been a failure? It is clear it is a failure. Nothing is going to change for us until we remove this government.
Are you still standing? I saw you earlier in the branch standing in Nancy Fountain. Who's still standing?
We must stand, Matt. We must stand. The northern part of Dominica has been affected. The marine environment, we used to have a marine park up in the Fort Shelley area. That has been removed. The construction of Kempinski, as we know it now, Continental Hotel, has caused environmental destruction. Now with the construction of the marina, we have tampered with the swamp area, which has been a home for several different types of animals and plants. That has been affected. We have seen rivers being destroyed. Deforestation causes us to become more vulnerable. We have had no serious storm since Hurricane Maria. We will be tested next time a storm comes, and it will come. Nature speaks. And when nature speaks again, Dominicans will appreciate the destruction of the environment, the cutting of the roads, the removal of the trees, going into water catchment areas, drilling mountains. And Matt, if that project is approved, and if that project continues to go on at Dubois, keep in mind there will be blasting, and the blasting will exacerbate the environmental problems. We are seeing it. If the project has not started and the people of Concord has been complaining about their skin itching when they go into the river, they see siltation, they have seen changes in the color of the water. The water volume will eventually get affected. The marine environment will eventually be affected. So there are serious consequences by the action of this government. Nobody is saying we do not want the international airport. All we are saying, to do things properly, follow the laws, get your environmental studies, meet with the people in the communities,
So you're,
have a conversation.
you're applauding NASA for taking that stand.
Well, I am happy that NASA has taken that stand, and I hope more persons will take that stand. I'm asking Dominicans to get out. What is there to lose? Get out of that fear. Every Sunday we go to church, we praise a God that says, fear him only. What is it that Dominicans are afraid about? What is it that you have a job, and if you speak up against the government, you will lose that job? They are laws to protect you. If you have a job and you speak up and you lose your job, there are avenues to challenge the government or your employer. What exactly are you afraid about? The government is not responsible for your life. The breath of life is not given by the leadership of this country.
The Prime Minister is wanting to have a conversation tomorrow with the people of Dominica. What's your take on that?
Well, again, that is insignificant in context of where we are in Dominica. It's too late for this Prime Minister. He's lost. This Prime Minister has lost his way. I don't think he sleeps properly. He has a conscience. I don't think that he sits and he feels good about himself. He must have some kind of tormentation, seeing where he was as a young man, came from a humble community, a humble man from a humble situation, to where he is right now, presenting himself, as he says, a man of God, enriched himself on the back of Dominicans, and have Dominica in a situation right now where questions are being asked about his integrity on the global stage, when ordinary people cannot pay their bills, when families are struggling to pay their mortgages, when children who go given scholarships by this government cannot get their diplomas because this government has failed to meet its financial obligations at universities. As we speak, there are persons who were promised scholarships, or persons who were entitled to scholarships, and they have not left the island because this government has not been able to honor those commitments, financial commitments. So we are in a bad situation. And if we think that things are going to get better, we better rethink. Because Matt,
how do we get out of here?
Matt, there is a geopolitical shift that is taking place in the world right now. We are seeing the behavior of the US as far as geopolitics are concerned. We are seeing that there may be more wars. We have trouble right here within our region. And if there are more wars and more disturbance in our geopolitics, Matt, all of us are going to be affected. Food security will become an issue. And that is why UPP will be taking messages from community to community to advise people to go back to the soil, to plant food, to use money wisely, and to become more self-sufficient. Because there may come a time when we will not be able to import the foods that we're importing right now, another error by this government. Why is it that we have to go to the supermarkets to buy carrots and cabbage? Because this government has failed us. Dominica is known as a place with good quality soil, good water, resourceful people. Dominica is rich in resources, contrary to what the leadership of this country has said. Sometimes you listen to their speeches, or Dominica has limited resources. That's a lie. Dominica has great resources. We, the people, we're the number one resource. The water, which is life, is a great resource. So this government has failed the people of Dominica, Matt. And I'm urging Dominicans to join us. Whichever umbrella you find in the opposition to take refuge, please come out and play your part. Whether it's financial, the praying alone is not enough. It's faith and works. Come out and let us do the work and get this government out. Let us get this government out and off the backs of Dominicans.
I heard earlier this year, Joshua, or last year, you were speaking about the legal professions bill. I heard the AG saying that this is going to be becoming a reality in the first quarter of this year. What's your take on that?
Matt, again, almost after 20 years, this government has been flirting with the idea of enacting a basic piece of legislation to protect the people of Dominica, to protect the lawyers, to protect all stakeholders within the legal fraternity. It says it all. It's an indictment on this government. This government has not taken the lives of Dominicans seriously. When this government sits, it thinks of its own affairs first before it takes into consideration the affairs of the people of Dominica. That is just one department where this government has failed. But we cannot change the past. Once again, the discussion is back on the table, thanks to people like Andy Jolly for repeatedly reminding the government of Dominica that it needed to enact that piece of legislation.
A quick one there. Of course, we just had the appointment of the commissioner and the assistant commissioner. What's your take on the unconstitutionality of these appointments? Because I'm being told that there was no consultation.
Well, there isn't a leader of opposition to consult, and by the doctrine of necessity, the state would not wait until there's a leader of opposition. So that is a debatable one. And if I were to debate that point in a court of law, I would invoke the doctrine of necessity to justify the appointment of the commissioner and deputy commissioner. But whether they were not appointed or not will not change the realities in Dominica. Dominica has serious issues. Our young people are on a path of destruction, and we need leadership to change that course, and not just leadership in the police, because the leadership in the police, as much as I congratulated them and I support them, because they are the commissioner and deputy commissioner as we speak. But all of us know the story of the commissioner. And as to whether he has the moral authority, I'm asking the nation to forgive him and to work with him. But under my leadership, that is not the kind of leaders I would want in position to take Dominica to the next level.
Why not?
Matt, we work with people of integrity. I have my sins, and I can say that I may be a chief sinner, but I have seen my ways. I have learned. I have evolved. I have been refined through my transgressions. But there are unrepentant leaders in Dominica continuing to rape the country, deceive the country, involving corruption, having selective justice, covering criminals. But until we change those things, nothing is going to change in Dominica. The only way Dominica can go forward is for us to remove certain corrupt people in position.
Are you convinced of that?
I know that, Matt. I'm not convinced. It's not a surmise. It's not a guess. It's a reality. We have corrupt people in different areas in Dominica. They help to cover corruption. They help to facilitate deception. And they are the problems. I hear speeches by certain people talking about come together, let's make things happen. Let us do this, let us do that. But they are part of the problem. They are part of the problem. We listen to ministers coming and talking, let's come together, let's do this, let's do that. But they are part of the problem. So until we get Dominicans who are honest, Dominicans with integrity, Dominicans who really not just say they are Christians, not just say they are following the word, but they are doers of the word, then we'll continue to get darker. We'll continue to go deeper into the precipice. We'll continue to get lost. But there is hope. There's hope with a few men who have decided to stand for Dominica and the people of Dominica. And I'm part amongst that crowd. And I will not stop until we get that change. I'm confident that we will get it. It will not come easy. And it will not come without hard work, but it is plausible. And to support Blessing's point, we have to do more. We have to exert more energy. We have to show more confidence. We have to align ourselves more with the Great Spirit, because we cannot do that on our own, because this is not just a fight in the flesh. This is also a spiritual fight. As a matter of fact, some people are convinced that the spiritual fight is greater than the fight in the flesh. This is not ordinary. So I'm asking Dominicans, those who pray, those who fast, to fast for me. Pray for Brother Corrier. Pray for all of us who have decided we're going to get this done, who have decided we're going to sacrifice ourselves to get that change in Dominica.
Your feet are anointed. If you're under the blood, oh, I am anointed. Are you ready? You want to stop? You want to printing that? You want to stop? If your hands are anointed, if your feet are anointed, and if you're under the blood, give me a Holy Ghost shout. If your hands are anointed, if your feet are anointed, and if you're under the blood, say, I am anointed.
We here with the UPP, of course, new candidate, and its leader, Joshua Francis. We'll come back there in a minute.
The enemy taking what was stolen from me. I am anointed and appointed.
We have a few minutes. Let's take a call. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Caller, are you there? I think you're gone. Sorry about that. Are you there, caller? Yes? Hello? Hello, are you there? I suspect we missed that one. Are you there, caller? No, you're not. Let's continue the music here in the afternoon. This is Q95.
On the enemy, taking back what was stolen from me. I am anointed and appointed. I'm a mighty warrior. Here we go. I'm taking back my joy, back my peace, back my health and my wealth. I'm taking everything he stole from me, everything he took from my family. I'm taking back my dance, back my shout, for all the years he had to shut my mouth. I am anointed and appointed. I'm a mighty warrior, God's on me. I'm taking back my peace, back my joy, I'm taking back my health and my wealth. I'm taking everything he stole from me, everything he took from my family. I'm taking back my dance and my shout, for all the years he tried to shut my mouth. I am anointed and appointed. I'm a mighty warrior. When you come back with your something, you want to make sure you don't leave nothing standing.
One of the theme songs of the UPP,
Connect with your Holy Ghost, bro.
Mavia Providence.
Make sure you everything when you come out.
On the telephone, are you there, caller? Yes?
Just a few seconds, Matt. Listening to Josh, I know Josh has his professional skills and all of that, Matt. That is how a leader or politicians, let me not talk for people to insinuate nothing more. That's our politician talk, Matt. And it's not because it's Josh. And I like Josh as a person, but Josh is quite skilled and I believe honest and sincere in his fight against the evil in this land. Thank you.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, hi. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening to you, or good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, I tried to message you, but I didn't get you.
Okay.
Listen, tell Joshua to call his name. He's not gentleman. Tell him to call his name. Why is he scared of? It's scary. PM scary. Tell him call his name.
Joshua, are you afraid of calling Scarrett's name?
Promote that name. That name needs to disappear in the minds of Dominicans so that Dominicans can be liberated.
I agree.
So I think we have called that name too much. We have advertised it, we have marketed it, and those days are over. The name needs to disappear.
Disappear.
It needs to disappear. That name will leave a very sour and bitter legacy in Dominica.
What would you think is Scarrett's legacy? What legacy you think he'll leave behind?
A failure, but not just a failure in terms of competence, but a failure in upholding the rule of law, a failure in integrity. And that is critical. If you have a bag of apples and one is corrupt, it destroys the whole bag of apples. Anywhere corruption is, you will eventually get failure and destruction. That is what has happened and continues to happen in Dominica. We have a rotten head, we have a corrupt head, and no matter how we sugarcoat our language, no matter how we clothe that leadership, no matter what cloak we put on it, no matter how we dress it, the core of it remains rotten. And until we get rid of it, Dominica
I've heard him say many
will
times.
not be liberated.
I've heard him say many times he was sent by God. You've heard that, Joe?
Well, that's what I said earlier. He has used the emotions of Dominica to continue to maintain power because a lot of Dominicans proclaim to be Christians. And faith is the substance of things not seen. It's just a feeling, it's an emotion. So we tell ourselves that we are in the spirit, God is with us, and this man keeps telling us he's sent by God. And many of us are deceived. But the good book says, many will be called and few will be chosen. There will be many who will say they are there of God, and they will deceive many. And sadly, too many Dominicans are deceived by those statements.
Let's take a phone call. Are you the caller? Yes.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Yeah. You have to give me my little break because
I gave you many breaks today, Marlon. Well, go ahead quickly.
I'm on a standstill. Matt, Honorable Tyron Blessing, the wise man from North, East, West, said something there about transport and about music. I agree with all what he said, Matt. I agree with him, what he said, and he said true. And Joshua, I listen to Joshua talking, Matt. Sit down, think, focus. And Joshua is for the poor people. Joshua is for everybody, Matt. Idea. And it's really touching. Imagine, I go and bed there. I had to be inside there talking to you. All myself wet, Matt, talking to you. Boy, Matt, Joshua, boy, you make me love you and love you. You're a brave man. You're a man of respect, a man of dignity, a very honest man, a man with the people, for the people.
All right, Marlon. Now somebody said 449-3095. Somebody says here in a WhatsApp message, when history is forgotten, it is doomed to repeat. So we have to remember the pain, suffering as much as the pleasure. We need to remember it's not, I think I'm trying to get the context here. Might have been telling you for a long time, China is building an airport and it's not a gift. They lied and, of course, skirt around the issue. Is a reward to Skerrit for allowing them to have a base in the Caribbean. Do you believe that, Joe?
Well, Matt, with this government, we don't know for sure whether it ever speaks the truth. There's a lack of transparency.
You think we need to see the MOU?
We, until such time, we are left to speculate. But if we look at the political DNA of the leadership in Dominica, we'll conclude that we are not trusting the words from the leadership. This country lacks transparency and accountability. We always have to be begging the government for answers and for information.
Another question to you, because you call the Mr. Skerritt and of course the administration corrupt. Ask Joshua if corruption is illegal, and if it is, why has Skerritt not been prosecuted there?
Who's going to prosecute him? The people responsible to provide oversight of the behavior of the government themselves are corrupt. So a corrupt is not going to correct a corrupt. Sin don't correct sin. That is why the whole system needs an overhaul. We need a change of leadership, which will bring a change in the leadership of different positions in Dominica. All the public departments, less a few persons of integrity who are afraid to talk, have been compromised. And that is sad. We have corrupt tentacles emanating from the head that has infiltrated every part of our society, whether it's the police force, whether it's education, whether it's finance. Everywhere we have persons who have compromised their integrity for 30 pieces of silver.
Interesting. All right, 449-3095-96 and 97. We have a few minutes. Lemuel, any final comments before you go? You've heard your leader speaking in a very passionately. You believe what he says. You in terms of the corruption that's taking place in Dominica, and the ills, and we've gotten a poor representation for the past 25 years from the Labour Party. You think?
Yeah, I agree with everything he said wholeheartedly. We need change, and the thing is, going about saying how we're doing it's just long story. But I think Dominicans really need to come together, work together, be united again. That way it used to be over 20 years ago. Understand? I could remember that. And it's not the same. So we need to get back Dominica to its former self, its former glory, and then I think we can be happy again.
All right, more telephone calls. Are you there? Yes. We need to get Dominica back to its former days, glory days. Are you there?
Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
Okay, let me say first, before I tell you what I have to tell you.
Tell me.
I don't hear about Owen. I'll call Owen for me, please.
Owen he left Dominica today. He left Dominica. He was in Dominica for the past few days. He was.
All right, okay. The rest. Now, Dr. and Mr. Francis.
Yes.
I am right there with both of you all, three of you all. I am sure if God spare my life, I will vote the Workers' Party. But all you are doing a very, very good job. The rest of the thing that I would like to hear and see is what Taiwan and Tony Blessing said. Get a speaker on the road everywhere. And that will help those that cannot hear the radio, those that cannot see, those that cannot walk to hear something. But there is a lot of people in Dominica that don't know nothing about Q95. They don't listen, they fret Q95. So when you come in the village with the speaker, they will hear they will close your ear. I have one of my nieces, Elas Papa Bodier. I have never seen two bad people like that. But more they come all, more they wicked. I talking to them because she's my auntie daughter, but if it doesn't there, I don't go by them. God bless you all. But there are free fellows in the Labour Party, the free lawyers. The money they want to kill us for them to have. They have to leave the money and go. They have got to enjoy that money, Duncan Stowe and the two others. They have got to enjoy that money at all. Remember, I said that. And Mr. Skerritt already losing. You don't see why he built a house in Rosa and the house rotten. That is man that have to do. He was ordained by God
But the moment he had go China without terror, he loses his faith. God turned up by his back on him. God had ordered him to be a good prime minister. But the moment he start doing full, he's not on the hands of God again. He's doing his own thing, so he don't killing out for Monica.
All right, I'll tell you what, Joshua. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Joshua, I heard one opposition leader saying last evening at this forum organized by the ERC that the Prime Minister of Dominica may be the richest leader in the Caribbean. You agree? And he says he has facts to support that.
Well,
Sorry, yes, go ahead.
I do not have the facts. What I know is that this prime minister is many times richer than what he used to be when he entered the political arena. And leaders are supposed to be servants. We are supposed to be giving. And a good leader builds his people at his expense. History has shown that great leaders sacrifice themselves to grow their people. No one is saying that as a prime minister, you ought not to take care of yourself. But when you build two mansions that we know of, that is legally on your own, and there are other mansions which are being said to be your own, and there is a saying that 1,000 Frenchmen cannot be wrong. And when the state has to be paying $64,000 from its limited resources to care for you, then we have to conclude that you are wealthy. And that shouldn't be.
Joshua Francis will not move to Mont Daniel in that prime minister.
I am not interested in that, Matt. If I were interested in the luxury of life, I would not be sitting here with you this afternoon. My journey here is not to enrich myself. If the good Lord fails to come during my lifetime, I shall depart. Naked I come, naked I go. My aim here is to help liberate Dominica, to save Dominica. I am here to stand for the people of Dominica, especially ordinary people who make up the vast majority of Dominicans. People who wake up in the morning and they have difficulties in how they're going to take care of themselves and their children. The single parents, the struggling mothers, the unemployed fathers, the struggling farmers, the underemployed, the working poor, the struggling entrepreneur, the struggling vendor, the struggling businessman, the struggling student. Those are the people that I'm fighting for. Those are the people I'm standing for. So clearly, Matt, should a good Lord appoint me to lead this country, I am not interested in the luxuries of life. I prefer to drink with the subjects than to eat with the kings and to oppress the subject. I came from a situation where I had little financially. The good Lord has blessed me and placed me where I am today. And I will not turn my back on what I was taught, the precepts of God, what my grandmother taught me. It is better to give than to receive. It's better to speak positive than to speak negative. It is better to stand for something than for nothing. And today, I am here with Coriat and the UPP community, and by extension, every leader that has stood and continue to stand against this regime. And I'm asking Dominicans to join us. We will not gain success without a united opposition. We will not gain success without assistance from the very people we are fighting for. And one of the challenges that I have as a leader is when I see poor people continue to make excuses for this government, people who are suffering, speaking languages such as I'm a labor right. What exactly are you saying? It means you take pleasure in your own poverty. You continue to have false hope. Dominica will not get better under this Dominica Labour Party government. It will not. No matter how many international airports are constructed, no matter how much modernization of our seaports take place, the country will not get better under the leadership of the Dominica Labour Party government.
Let's take a last voice note there for the
Man,
after.
I'm listening to the conversation and I just hear Joshua said something. Big up to Joshua anyway. I've always supported him in the past, you know what I mean? I just have not been listening as much as before because I think I got tired of just Dominicans talking and not acting. And some of the people that protects and supports this government, they are the biggest set of beggars in the island, you know what I'm saying? Because they are reduced to that. It's a kind of a mendicant society this man have created. So I hear you ask Joshua about the name, calling the name. And I totally agree. It's a time you have to just stop calling those guys name because they have no integrity and they're morally bankrupt. They don't have morals. It's all about becoming rich, you know what I'm saying? And they have really, really lost their way. This country is just stagnant, man. I was just in Dominica. Roseau smell like piss, man. All over the city smells, you know what I'm saying? Since 2009, those guys did a map and said that Roseau was going to be the envy of the Caribbean. And I want to know which envy it is up to today, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's crazy.
That was our final voice note for the afternoon. I'm going to get a final comments from Mr. Corriett. And of course, thank you for joining us this afternoon there on the Talking the Block. Yes, it was a pleasure. Any final comments from your...
I would like to shout out to the people of the PD7 constituency. From whichever hamlet they're listening or not, you know, Bellevue, Pichelin, PD7, Stowe, Dubic, Point Carib, Fab, you know, everybody just big up, hold strong, and we need to get our heads together and fight for change in our country. We are not labor right or workers or UPP. We are Dominicans, and we need to get that straight again. Okay,
thank you. It looks like a unifier, Joshua.
Well, yes, and that's what we need. We need a unifier in every constituency. We need unity. We need a cohesive effort, a collective effort to get this government out. This is a political cancer that keeps growing in Dominica. We need to stop it. We need to perform that political surgery to get that political cancer out of Dominica. And the only way we can do that is to keep talking, to keep working, and to keep convincing each and every other Dominican. So the United Progressive Party will continue to work for the people of Dominica. Every other week, we will visit a community with a public meeting. We are willing to work with the other leadership in the oppositions. When the time is right, we'll have a strategy as to how we're going to get this done. But Dominica, this is do or die. We have no choice. There's no second guessing. There's no doubt. Join the movement. Make a contribution. For those who wish to make a donation to the United Progressive Party, you can go online, visit www.uppdominica.com. That is www.uppdominica.com. You can also check me personally at my office. You can call me at 245, that is 245-0704. You can call other members of the party. You can walk in to provide your donation. This afternoon, I was very happy to be here with young Corriett. He's impeccable. You heard his honesty. You heard his humility. You saw his humility for those who are following on Facebook and other social media platforms. And I am confident that he represents hope. A young man who has decided to stand for his community, the PT7 constituency. I'm asking the PT7 people to support him. Not everybody will be able to follow us physically, support us spiritually, financially, and any other way. So, Matt, once again, I want to say thank you. And I also want to commend, to reach out or to acknowledge Marlin for calling on your program and giving me so much blessings. And also Mr. Dangleben Radio Abamako, the Granby man, a very conscientious human being, a leader in his community, a man who continues to be an ambassador for the Granby community and Dominica by extension. And for all the callers who made a contribution in one way or the other, I want to say thank you. The journey continues. The fight continues. We shall not relent. And we shall continue to work until we get that change. God bless Dominica.
God bless you too.
God bless you, Matt.
Thank you.
When you come back with your something, then you want to make sure you don't leave nothing standing. You're going to pick up your weapon, pull it with the Holy Ghost blood, and point it at the enemy. Of bondage I see before him lay. His mighty hand had rolled me of it. Then by the way, he will and roll the sea of it. Jesus said, my grace, Jesus.